Hello, Collective. Wendy Joy, Love and Light. The warning bell has been ringing and the trumpets have been blaring. And Yeshua, Jesus, whatever name you want to provide to the Savior who took human form to come down to remind us about the inner divinity that lives within us, our energy, our light essence. And when I look around me, I see that there's a multitude of different directions that people, individuals are holding, they're harnessing. And some are going to, spiritual evolution and development of self by uncovering and reforming and enhancing and, recultivating character and ego, right? To reflect upon the newest, more evolved versions of self. And then there's others that are simply oblivious to what's going on. They have absolutely no concept. They're still following the game or the illusion of falsehood by whatever position of authority you want to consider. And there's multitudes of these positions being held right now in a multitude of realms as well. So there's that. And then there's a bunch of people that see the disconnect but don't think that they could do anything. They think that they're smaller than what they actually are, that their reach, their pull, their ability to stand up tall, if you will, is diminished or limited. And that's because they're stuck on the fence, knowing that there's more, but they don't know how to get it. And that's because they're still looking outside of them in order to receive the answers. And now it's becoming more of a commonplace to look outside of self instead of inside of self to gather your inner wisdom, right? We'll say, because that encompasses an awful lot. But now I see on the internet that AI is becoming more and more involved in everyday life. And now I see commercials or advertisements, whatever you want to consider them to be, right? We used to call them commercials when they came in between a TV show that we were watching. It was time to go to the bathroom or maybe get something to drink. But in any event, when these advertisements or commercials come in current times, they're coming with, you don't need to worry about how you're going to do something. Just ask AI. You don't need to worry about what the real truth is or having some type of an interconnected conversation, sharing knowledge or wisdom, enhancing and perfecting, right? Just ask AI. If you don't know what to wear, the computer will tell you. If you don't know what to say, the computer is right there willing to put words in your mouth. And you might even agree because, that's less work for you. But what does that actually mean? To me, that means that you've given all of your power away, and that if you continue to allow outside influences, regardless of what or who they may be, to direct you on your path, then you're not walking your path. You're walking their path. You're walking the path that they chose for you. So I don't know about you, but that's still another form of suppression. So they say that technology advances, but technology can advance in two different ways, and I've seen this. I've seen smart technology, and I've seen structured technology. Structured technology is where the program has a list of choices to provide to you and just picks, whether on previous choices you've made, or how the system simulates, that they feel that you are, or who you're morphing into, or, who knows? I don't know. I'm not a computer, and I didn't program it to, randomly choose different directions, and then spiel them out there, and then hope that the collective who is asking or seeking some type of knowledge will follow and go blindly in that direction. But I've never done that. And I never actually, I never suggested anybody do that either. Knowledge is good. And when I was younger, books were everywhere. And some books held the truth, and some books held lies. And other books held distortions of truth, morphed into lies. Like, for example, where do we live? Something so silly as where do we live? I know that I've been here all of my life, and I haven't been hurt or damaged outside of, the hands of specific energies looking to hurt, disrupt, and prevent, right? Like the seeding in the air, and, the chemicals, and all of the aluminums, and all the crap that they're doing here. It's meant to keep us small, to keep us confused, not to be looking inward, but to be seeking outward. And that's really never what we were ever supposed to do. And I know that this is true. And I've seen this in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different views. And no matter what way I look at it, if you allow another energy to be your puppet master, if you allow your strings to be tied to a marionette, if you will, and be guided in a path that maybe wasn't even on your horizon to begin with, but you blindly followed the lead of an outside influence that's only directive was to hurt you, to confuse you, by lying to you. And that happens in school, that happens in work, that happens in your neighborhood. But it's not anyone particular's fault within this generation. Because this generation of people, everyone who is walking the earth today, right, is the generation that I'm speaking of. And you could be just born, or you could be, walking from one adventure or event into another, like as you progress in age, right? But that's not how it was always supposed to be. You weren't supposed to look outside of you. You weren't supposed to rely on the direction of another in order to provide to you the security that you need. That doesn't mean that you don't play the game. That means that you use your discernment, and that means that you don't rely outside of you for the final answer, for the final direction, for your motivation or your willingness to succeed. If that was the case, then I would be telling everybody on a megaphone everywhere that they are much better than where they stand, and that they should dig down deep inside and discover their divinity, and then pull it up, and then wear it on their sleeve, and let everyone know through the movements and the motions that the truest consciousness, the best for everyone, regardless of what mindset that they may have. See, that's dictatorship. And I would never do that. I would allow you to be able to navigate your life until the questions start to pop up. And then not look outside of you, but to help you seek your internal answers through your inner knowing, which we can help strengthen, and the trust that you have in the unforeseen, and even if you don't have much trust in what you can't see. The most important lesson I could show through insight and experience would be that once you make a decision, once you are firm with your commitments to yourself and to the decisions that you've made, then you'll find that it's easier to seek knowledge and wisdom from your inner knowing than it would be to gather someone else's directive from the outside, forcing you into a position that you weren't exactly ready to receive. Because there's a lot of veils that come with outside information. They hold it. They tell you you have to beg for it. They make you bend a knee for it. You don't have to do any of those things. You don't hold anything from you. You don't make you bend a knee to you. You don't tell you that you're not able or capable. I know you don't. No one does. Unless that's what you were geared to believe through Stockholm syndrome, maybe, where you've been beat up and pushed down so many times that it's easier to agree and just let it all go because you feel like you can't do anything for you anyway that makes any type of benefit or difference. But that's so not true, because the minute you say that you are worth your effort and that you resonate with truth, balance, and harmony, and P.S. we all do, because life is so much easier when everything is balanced, when there is no pull or give or tug or slap, but it's just an easy shake. You help me, I help you. And that's when you realize that your best tool, your closest friend, is your higher consciousness, because you will never tell you what you should do that would ever hurt you. I know you wouldn't. We've been hurt enough by the negative forces that are trying to, suppress us, tamp us down, extinguish. Stamp out our flame. Don't let that happen. Keep your flame alive. Keep your optimism strong. Keep your mind clear. And look inward for your answers. And if you need help, I can always help. Because I would never tell you to ask AI, ever. Nor would I tell you to rely on AI. If you do ask, be discerning with what information you're given. How does it feel? How does it resonate? Does it make sense? Does it look like it's an asset, or is it a hindrance? Is it helping or hurting? Is it suppressing or freeing? These are questions that you should be asking when every piece of information comes your way. And if it comes with a warm, exciting, inviting feeling, these are messages from the divine, holy and pure, from beyond the void, above the void, that you can trust. But then your energy will let you know. Do you listen to it? Do you follow it? Do you love your energy? Your energy loves you. My lovely collective, no matter where you are, no matter what you find, may you always seek the answers from the inside and not rely upon AI or any other establishment telling you that you are less than what you are, because you are way more and way worthy. And I cannot wait for you to discover, all of you, to cultivate your character, your ego, and your well-being into completeness, where you are living life, not